Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to be looking at something a bit different. I'm not going to be worrying about football on the PS4. I'm going to be looking at football in real life. So I've seen around on Sky Sports, on web forums and stuff, people have put together their opinions of their team of the year so far. Since we're at nearly about Christmas, we're getting towards the halfway mark of the Premier League season. I thought I'd follow suit, and I thought I would put together my own team of the season so far. This team, you're going to see in a minute, is going to have a few players that you might not be sure about, or you might feel like you disagree with me, which is fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. If you've got your own opinion on who should probably make the team of the season so far, please do leave me a comment below of who you would take out and who you would put in. Most of the players are being played in their position. There's probably one player in there maybe that probably is getting played a bit out of position. But other than that, I've tried to keep them best in position as possible. I also have a substitute bench, which I feel will be handy when putting together that team. So there are going to be players there that could probably be in the first team but have missed out because of position or preference or something like that. So without further ado, here is the team. So, here's the team. As you can see, different names, but I still think it's a pretty solid team based on what is happening this season. So, at goalkeeper, we have Jack Butland. Now, he has had an amazing season for Stoke. And playing in a weaker team, or I shouldn't say weaker, playing in a team that's more further down the table, he has probably had to do a lot more goalkeeping than goalkeepers that are probably up towards the top of the table. He's held that defence together really well and has had some amazing games where he has looked like Superman. He's not letting anything past him. So that's why I've got Jack Butland at goalkeeper. So as you can see behind me, I'm an Arsenal supporter. So that is why I might have a little bit of bias towards Arsenal players. But I feel that these Arsenal players in the team probably deserve their position. So starting from the left, I've got Monreal. So historically, Monreal for Arsenal, he started out being the backup left back for Gibbs. Now this season though, he's come on leaps and strides and he's actually keeping Gibbs out of the team. He isn't the most creative going forward, but in defence and defending players coming at him, he's very, very, very solid. If you go over to the first centre back, you've got Laurent Koscielny, who I believe is probably the best centre back in the league. His positioning, his athleticism, he very rarely gets beaten on one-on-ones. He uses his athleticism to his advantage, getting to spots that he needs to get to quickly and making sure he shuts down strikers. Next to him is Smalling. Now, we all know United haven't had the best season. They've actually had a pretty average season. They're not scoring a lot of goals, but one thing they are doing is they are defending well. They're not letting a lot of goals go past them. There've been a lot of 0-0s and 1-0 wins. And Smalling has been the shining light for that United defence, holding them together well, making sure that they do not get scored against. On the right is Bellerin. Now, you could probably put a couple of people here, but because I do see probably more Arsenal games than non-Arsenal games, I do see a lot of Bellerin, and I think from what I can tell, I think Bellerin is probably the best performed right back in the league at the moment. Opposed to Monreal, Bellerin is very good at getting forward, getting to the byline and crossing the ball in. He gets found out a little bit in defence at times, but what helps him is he has that electric pace that lets him get back as quick as he goes forward. So if someone's gotten behind him, he uses his athleticism and he uses it to stream back. You'd be surprised that there's 3 Arsenal players there, but Arsenal have a very, very solid defence this year, and that is the reason why there's 3 Arsenal players there. Now, quickly, I've gone for a 4-2-3-1 because that's what most people seem to be doing that their team of the season's in so far. They seem to be putting in a 4-2-3-1. Now, I could have put it in a 4-4-2 or something like that, but I decided to stick to the 4-2-3-1. On the left-hand midfield position is Yohan Cabaye. I think what he's been doing for Palace is really, really great. Palace are currently sitting very, very high. Now, they've got those pacey wingers like Balassi and Zaha going down the wing. But this is the guy, Kabay, he's the one that distributes. He's the one that passes it out to them. And he's also got a penchant for sticking in for a goal or two, putting it in the back of the net. Now on the other side is Conte. Now he is an unsung hero from Leicester. You've got Vardy and Mahrez who take up all the accolades from Leicester. They're the ones that are on the front pages. They're the ones that are getting all the praise. Conte has been good at holding that midfield together. Because even if Vardy and Mahrez are scoring a lot, that midfield needs to be together so they aren't leaking goals and aren't exposing the defence. So that is my two central midfielders. Now, starting from the right, you've got Mahrez. What more can you say really about Mahrez? He's an assist machine. He's a goal machine. He's working really, really hard for Leicester. And they're gonna have a struggle on their hands to keep him come the end of the season. But at the moment, he is probably the informed player of the Premier League. He's assisting, he's goal scoring, he's doing everything. He's one of the big reasons that team is looking at the top of the league so far. If you move across into the middle, you've got Ozil, who's currently up to 15 assists, just only on halfway through the season. He has a massive, massive skill to just put people into space, put people into goal, and then more often than not this season, as opposed to past seasons, they're scoring those goals. So Ozil is probably the form number 10 in the Premier League at the moment by a fair way. On the left, I've got Dimitri Payet. Now, he is probably not someone that plays on the left a lot, but I had to fit him in. The way he got the season started for West Ham is most of the reason why, or in my opinion, most of the reason why West Ham are as high as they are at the moment. He was scoring, he was assisting, and he has done amazing things for West Ham. It's a bit disappointing that he's out for a couple of months through injury, but hopefully if he comes back this season, he can get back to his best form and helping out West Ham, because when he's on, Payet looked amazing for West Ham. And now to the striker position. And who else could you have? You've got to have Jamie Vardy up top. He is the record holder for the most consecutive goals in a Premier League season now. He's not your classy striker in the way that he runs through and beats 5 people and then puts it in the top corner. He puts himself in the right spots and then he hits it into the goal. He's got a great sense of finding the back of the net. He's helped a lot by Mahrez, who puts him into space. But Vardy has the skills to be putting the goal in the back of the net. He found it for those 12 straight games. If I wasn't an Arsenal supporter, I'd be really hoping that Leicester can go on and win the Premier League. But unfortunately, Arsenal in the title race, I'm hoping that Leicester fall off. But to be honest, they don't look like they're going to be falling off anytime soon. They're going through the tough tests at the moment, and they're still looking strong. Here's my interchange. Now, I've got a couple of players here, and you could probably argue for a couple of more players you could probably put on the interchange. So, at goalkeeper, as backup goalkeeper, you have De Gea. He's been solid for them. For United, he's another reason they haven't been letting in so many goals, like Smalling, so he has to go into the team. Alderweireld has been a solid, established centre-back for Tottenham. I'm disappointed that he didn't actually come to Arsenal a couple of seasons ago that he came to the Premier League. He's been solid for them at the back. Tottenham are starting to turn around their form a bit, even though they lost to Newcastle on the weekend. They have turned around their form, and he is a big part of it. Now, Watford have been an amazing story of this season too, as well as Leicester and Crystal Palace. And their defence has been really good at not letting players in. So I could not include a Watford defender, and I've chosen Naim because he provides that speed on the wing. He provides that movement up the wing, and he's also pretty good at getting back and putting on that defensive pressure. Ali has been great in the midfield for Tottenham. He's been holding them together well, giving them some drive and giving them some more pressure in that midfield. De Bruyne City have been good and bad at parts of the season, but De Bruyne has been probably the best City player this season. He's putting in goals, he's putting in assists. He's really, really started well life back in the Premier League. And I hope he keeps going because he's an amazing player to watch. Igalo is the next player. Now, when another Watford player, When Watford came up at the start of the year, people were looking to Deeney to be the one that's going to score all the goals. But Ighalo has proven to now that while Deeney's been really good, Ighalo has been even better. And between Ighalo and Deeney, a great pairing strike force for Watford. And lastly, you have Lukaku, who's currently on a massive goal-scoring run. I think it's 6 or 7 goals in a row in Premier League games. He can't stop scoring. It's a bit disappointing that Everton haven't had a great season, because if they had been having an amazing season, were up in the top 4, I imagine a lot more would be made of Lukaku's form. If Everton's defence can somehow get themselves together and they can stop conceding so many goals, they can start pushing for those European League spots. Now, do you agree? Do you not agree? Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully, I'll be getting out more videos on the Premier League as the season goes on. Maybe more based around Arsenal, maybe more based around the Premier League in general. Look out for those. Like and subscribe so you see those videos when they come up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.